Welcome to the Witchy Work Wishes podcast, a place to find your weekly inspiration for bringing your personal witchcraft practice into your business, work, and office. Welcome to Witchy Work Wishes. Today is an open mic type setting again, and this time with Anika and Connor. And it really is a direct extension from last week's episode where the three of us were testing out some waxing moon cocktails in the Spellbound series that I have. Honestly, we just left the mic, keep recording, and we shared some personal stuff, some family stuff. We talked about religion and witchcraft. It was nice. The conversation flowed as it was meant to and happened organically, which, as you know, is something I love. Before we jump back into that taping, though, I always like to pull some things I did over the weekend to help with my own personal craft. And this past weekend, it was about signs that I have been looking for, like small ones, large, loud ones, little hint type ones, anything to reassure me that I am on the right path with my corporate expansion. Now, in addition to validation with the signs, I created my own energy and worked directly with it over the weekend. There is a mixed-use building in a city about, 30-ish minutes away from my main office that I happen to put an offer on. And so far, things are lining up. It was only on the market 4 days when I put my offer in, and I knew I was not the only one. But luckily, my offer was accepted. After a complete home inspection this past weekend, though, I found out there is a bunch of work that needs to be done. Like major stuff, lots of issues, like big ticket issues. And it's reasonable. The residential portion of the building is a 1930s farmhouse. And, honestly, that's what completely drew me into it. But now comes some negotiations. Either, the work gets done by the seller before we close, or they give me a credit, like a price reduction, so that I can do the work myself. And I'll be honest, I'm hoping for the later, only because, I have a bunch of contractors that are clients of mine, and I know they would completely take care of me and go above and beyond to make sure I was safe. So we'll see. This next week, which is the last week in May, is a short one with the holiday, so we'll see how much we can get done. I'll tell you what I did, though. To keep the good luck momentum going, I actually started to pack. So the owners proposed a short escrow. It was part of the counter that I accepted. On our full Sagittarius moon last week, I did some fireworkings with a candle and created very specific energy to make this happen and have escrow close successfully. Now, to keep that energy going, I packed the big rooms that usually take like a lot of boxes, which is, for me, it's the kitchen and the bathrooms. So I worked with the energy and the vision of me being in that home and setting up my second corporate location with every box that I packed. Now, I did this on Friday, I did it on Saturday, and I did a little bit on Sunday. So I keep seeing myself in the farmhouse. I kept playing with the layout of the second location for the corporate structure of my life, and I just kept the vision strong and the energy specific. Now, Sunday evening, I went to my Faithful Crow and Tarot deck, and I asked the question, what do I need to focus on for the purchase of this building and farmhouse to finalize? And guess what I pulled? I pulled a major arcana card, and I grabbed the Hanged Man. I was thrown back immediately when I saw it, but then I settled into the meaning of the card and what it was telling me. So the description in the specific Crow Tarot deck says that this is a water element card, and the key words and feelings are about delay, about letting go, and about waiting to decide. The Hanged Man reads, "The crow hangs from the blossoming cherry tree, allowing his wings to fall in complete surrender. He stays still, leaning into the position and allowing the blood to rush in to nourish his brain. Away from the ruckus noise of the roost, he has let go and is at peace, and it is in the silence that he will discover the answers he needs to help move a project or desire forward. The Hanged Man asks that you put the situation or plan on pause so you can look at it from a different angle. There may be a vital element that you are missing, and the result may be a longer delay. The Hanged Man may suggest getting away from the situation, both mentally and physically, so you can recharge your energy and approach the issue with a renewed vitality. This card may also represent a project put on hold due to an external force that is out of your control. So the only course of action is to wait patiently. Okay, well, I did look up some other general terms about pulling the Hanged Man card, and really every angle and perspective is pretty on point for what is happening with this offer on the mixed-use building. And it was interesting. It really was interesting to pull it after a weekend of diligently working on the manifestation of moving. What I am understanding now is, that I need to step back and look at everything from a different angle. I need to relax and meditate on it. The course of action I'm supposed to take with it will make itself visible to me this coming week or soon. I don't know that I can control the events that have been set in motion any more than I already have. I've done my part. So now just like, the crow hanging from the tree, finding quietness in the busy world, letting the blood rush to his head, I think I need to do the same thing. And I will, metaphorically. I'm not going to go hang from a tree. Look like a bat. But I'm going to find some quiet place. I'm not going to pack anymore. I have done my manifestation. I think now is the time to step back and let what has been put in motion do what it's supposed to do. So for today's recording, well, it really is one of my favorite types, in that it is done with this open mic type format. There's no outline, there's no preset questions, conversation is organic, and it really flows as I think it was meant to be. So it is taken directly from last week's episode where Anika and Connor helped me with a Spellbound Spirits series, working with waxing moon cocktails. And honestly, we just kept talking. After we were done making the drinks, we just let it keep recording. So what follows, honestly, is just that. It's open talk. So let's join in where we left off last week for some deep talk about life, about witchcraft and religion, and some good old campfire type conversation. I got the first quarter moon in Sagittarius. Believe in your good luck. We'll see with everything that's happening right now.
Mine was just go wild. Just go for it.
You know what? Don't you have to do that every once in a while, though?
Oh, yeah.
You do.
Like, stop planning and just do it.
You definitely need to have a little bit more fun.
Just...
Because every time, I'm the spontaneous one.
Are you?
I am.
Between the two of you, you're the spontaneous one?
Oh, yeah. Because before I met her, my friends and I would be like, oh, well, what's going on this weekend? Like, oh, I don't know. Like, oh, this thing's going on in L.A. or Malibu. And we're like,
let's go.
Let's go. Right now.
Oh, my gosh.
And we just drop what we're doing and just pile in a car, all pitch for gas, and we just go. We'd pitch in on like a pizza or whatever kind of food.
Whatever needed,
Whatever needed, we'd just kind of pitch in and get like a group effort type deal and spend a weekend. Like I remember one time, we were in a bar during the fires in Santa Barbara.
Oh, yeah.
My friends and I were just talking about, man, it'd be really cool to get out of this smoke and kind of go out and see something. And someone's like, well, there's an event going up in San Francisco. We all looked around like, I got gas money.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Seriously?
Yeah.
On the spot?
On the spot. And we all dropped what we were doing, left the bar at like 11:30 at night, got to a hotel in San Francisco by like 2, 3 in the morning.
Woo!
Spent the night there, woke up, did our little thing, came back.
And you were out of the smoke?
Mm-hmm.
Would you do that?
No, I like taking calculated risks.
Because no.
The last time I tried to
There was no planning with that at all.
I tried to get her out of her comfort zone one time. I had a little bit of money saved up. And just there on a Friday night, and I'm like on kayak or something like that, looking for hotel rooms.
Yeah.
I'm like, pack a bag, let's go to LA. She's like, what? Sitting there playing video games with her brother. I'm like, yeah, let's go to LA. We can go to the World Market. We can go to the beach. We can go hit Santa Monica. And our hotel room's kind of in the central, so everything's really close.
Right.
She's like, I don't want to go. I don't want to pack.
I don't know what I would wear. I said, let's do next weekend because then I can plan for it.
Because you can plan for it.
That's the fun of it, though.
It is. It's adventurous to be spontaneous like that and just pick up and go.
So it was a good card.
What is it? Yeah, right? That's the balance of life. You've got to have some moments where you just just take off and go and do something super spontaneous.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
You're more like a planned spontaneous.
I am.
That's not spontaneous if you plan it.
Does that in itself contradict?
Yeah.
What
Calculated risk.
calculated risk.
Figure it out as you go.
So you guys were going to go camping this weekend. What happened?
Oh my god, everywhere's booked.
That's it. That is, you can't be spontaneous
Yeah.
with that stuff because people book those things probably months in advance.
Yeah.
For spots and
Seriously.
Not anymore. I'd say like back in 2010, 12,
you
could just pick up, go, and just hit the Figueroa or wherever you wanted.
Yeah.
Get a camping spot, go walk over to the little kiosk and say, yo, $10 for the night. I'm
This is
here.
This is my spot. It's mine.
I'm here. And you'd be next to nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
But now, I took her up to Figueroa like 2 weeks ago.
But you mentioned it, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, I used to camp here almost every weekend in the middle of the spring, summer, whatever have you.
Yeah.
Peak camping season. No one was there.
Mm-hmm.
I was the only person there. We get there, every spot's filled. You have to reserve in advance. First come, first serve is always packed. People get there days before.
Sure.
So how's that fair for anybody?
I know.
You know? And you look around and all these people are coming from like LA, Thousand Oaks,
Yeah.
big cities,
Yeah.
trying to get out, and it's like that really takes away from the whole camping experience.
Right.
Not necessarily from where they come from,
Yeah.
but how they present themselves in the campground, I guess, in a
Mhm.
sense.
It
They just want to be super close to each other, and that's not what camping is about for me.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't want to see the guy next to you.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
exactly.
necessarily want to see the guy next to me, but like if I'm like there setting up or something like that and like getting all ready, and I'm not too much of a people person.
Yeah.
I can be, but when I camp, I don't want to be. I
You're-
want to get away from everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they just make it like a big community. It's like,
Yeah.
let me enjoy the nature. Let me enjoy the peace and quiet.
The sounds, the
sound.
smells.
Let me enjoy the sounds. You know, I don't want
Are
to listen
you,
to your K-pop.
Exactly. Yeah. Are you a fisherman? Do you like stream fishing or not really?
I haven't been.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I've been fishing a couple times off the pier, but
Ocean
Not
fishing's
too
a
much.
different breed. Like you've got to have some
I'm afraid of the ocean.
in general.
Yeah.
Because of Jaws.
Just in general.
Because there could be Jaws.
I wasn't so much as a kid. Like, I used to swim out to the buoys at Goleta Beach when I was, like, 7. I was a really good swimmer.
Okay.
I mean, I still am.
Yeah.
I could handle myself. I could see the currents coming. I need to swim across the current
Sure.
or against it, whatever have you. So I used to be out there, but I think what got me scared was when we were just messing around in, like, knee-deep water. My brother got stung by a jellyfish. And that kind of freaked me
And
out.
that's a sting. Like
Yeah,
that
and
is that's a nasty
and he was in
sting.
like big pain,
Yeah.
so I felt bad for him. I'm like, that's just, it's not.
We're done.
Yeah, I'm
We're
kind
all
of done.
We're all done. We're not
And
doing that. We're all
I
done.
think when I moved back in like 2009 to Santa Barbara,
Mm-hmm.
I was at the beach on a work break. Well, like spring break, I should
Yeah.
say. And just before the waves were breaking, this guy caught a 6-foot shark.
What?
I was done. I was done. I'm like that.
If I saw
moment,
that, I would no.
I was looking at that guy reeling it in. He was all happy, and I looked down in the water, and there's like kids playing. I'm like,
Yeah, no.
I'm never. No,
Yep.
I'm done. That's it.
Yeah.
No more.
If for the listeners, if you look up on the map, Santa Barbara has some islands right across from us, and that creates what's called a cold water channel. It's the water, however it moves from up in Alaska straight down the Pacific coast. It's a cold water channel that happens between the islands and our coast, and it's known for sharks. It just is. It's perfect breeding grounds. It's the water that they like. It's the temperature that they like. And that's a hard no for me.
Yeah.
I love the ocean.
And that channel is one of
Swimming
the.
in it?
I love it. Like last time we
But
went
like
to a
swimming,
beach. Yeah.
like you would go out, or you
I don't
would
go
swim?
super super far just because I don't go that far.
Yeah.
But like last time we were at a barbecue or whatever, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go in the water, and like everyone's just like having a beer, enjoying the food, and
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm swimming. I came to the beach to swim in the ocean.
I'm not just out on the sand.
Yeah.
I do miss it. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like I would be more comfortable in clear waters, maybe like
Absolutely.
warmer waters.
And warmer.
Yeah.
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 It's the Pacific Ocean's cold.
Yeah, it gets chilly.
Even when I grew up so I'm of the generation that we saw Jaws in the theater. That's where, and I was only 6 years old or 7 years old. I was young when it came out. So much so that my mom actually was sitting in between me and my little brother, 2 years younger than me, sitting in the movie theater. Like she tried to cover our eyes in certain scenes, and I was just like, jaw to the ground, and that was it. I've never, even water skiing in a lake. We started off with 2 skis, of course, right? But I popped out of that water so goddamn fast because I was like, "Get me out, just get out!" And I would hold on until I knew it was like a safe. I wouldn't even drop. I wouldn't go down at all.
You're like, not happening.
Because I can't see. Even though it was a lake, I knew there was no sharks in the lake.
Lakes
are
scary
I felt
too.
the same.
There's something.
I got attacked by seaweed in the
about
lake.
Lake Nascimento.
Oh.
So I have never been there, believe it or not. I don't know why it's so local.
I think it was that lake. We went, my uncle, when I was a kid, had a house out there. So we would go, and he had a boat, and he'd take us, out in the lake and have fun for a weekend. I think we were in the docks, and there's big carp in that lake or something.
Those are the big, right? Carps are, okay.
Huge ones. And I remember being on like a knee board or something like that, and I fell. And I'm like sitting there, and I watched them going around. And I see the flag come up. Someone's in the water, and they're going around. And I'm like kicking my feet, and kind of swimming a little bit. I'm like, I'm just gonna stay right here.
Out, like I already know what's gonna happen.
And I'm like kicking. And I'm gonna swim a little bit over towards them. And as soon as I start, as soon as I lean, I kick something slimy. I'm like, freaking out immediately. I'm like,
that's it. Get me on the boat.
The fish is like, hey man, I'm swimming here.
I immediately freaked out, and I was like telling myself, the more I freak out, the more water I'm gonna drink, and I don't want to drink this water. So like, kind of remained calm. I was so tense, and the boat came around, hopped up in that sucker so quick.
It's like, you don't want to go for another ride? You're like, no.
I'm done.
No, I don't.
Done. Thank you. I had fun.
Next. They're like pale white. They're like, are you okay? You're just like, just get me on.
Get me on. I think I was like mildly hyperventilating a little bit. I was like freaking out. I'm like tense.
So how did you figure out? You just assumed it was a carp? Like it could have been.
No, I just saw the big fish in there, and I was like, whoa, this sucker's a huge. I don't know what it kicked. I don't know what happened.
These suckers are huge.
But it like hit me like just above the Achilles heel, like it swam through my legs kicking. I know
exactly.
I hit like the middle of something, and I felt like the mass of it.
Like you know how big it is. A muscle. You can feel.
I hit pure muscle. And I'm like freaked out. I'm like, I need to get out of this water now.
Oh my god.
That really that's actually a trigger for me. So and I've never. Nothing's ever happened. I'm just so deathly afraid of that.
That's the only time it's ever happened to me. Ever. I've been to Havasu, Nas, Kachuma. I grew up around a lake, Lake Elsinore.
Okay.
That's the only lake that I know of that has no speed limit.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So directional, but there's no speed limit?
It's a big... It kind of looks like the United States a little bit. That weird shape. Okay. Yeah. So in the middle of it, you can go as fast as you want. No speed limit, no nothing.
It's like Tahoe. Yeah. I
don't know much about that. But.
Yeah. Tahoe's is huge.
Yeah.
And it's super deep. So even in the middle of summer, you can be cold. You can be cold because it's so deep.
Yeah,
it's a man-made lake.
Elsinore?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not that deep.
Yeah.
And it's in the middle of the desert. No matter where you look around you, there's a mountain. So you're like in this bowl, kind of.
Interesting.
And I think we went there, and when did we go? It was like spring or something like that? Summer. It's like 109.
Of course, because you're down there, yeah.
Yeah. But all year round, even in December, that's the one thing I miss, is warm rain. Yeah. When it would rain, it would be warm. The water and everything, but all year round, sunny day and all that. I lived 2 blocks away from the lake, and you would wake up to like boat engines just roaring down the.
That's how Bass Lake is. Yeah,
really.
But is there a time like they can't do it before 8? Are there hours? Oh, you can do it whenever. Bass Lake's got hours. You can be out on a pontoon whenever, but you can't go fast before 8, and then you have to be done because there's people who live on the lake.
Yeah,
you have to be done by a certain time. I think it's 8 to 8.
I'm not sure now. I haven't been back there in about 14 years.
I bet you they've revised it because most lakes are like that. They've got hours. Again, that pontoon, you want to go drift around and you can be out whenever, but the speedboats for water skiing and wakeboarding and stuff, there's usually hours. Yeah,
you'd see some pretty interesting boats out there. A lot of like race boats.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say like offshore race boats would kind of go down there and like test, if you will.
Oh, really?
They would
Well,
wake
yeah,
up,
if there's no limits on
yeah,
this is
they
where you test. Yeah.
they would wake up super early in the morning, which I kind of thought was like kind of dumb to me because the whole lake is kind of glassy.
Yeah.
It's like it's not going to be like that in the ocean, bud.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No matter what time you're out.
You may be hitting this time and this mile per hour on this lake, but you ain't getting close to that in the wide open ocean.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I remember one time I woke up, it was probably like 5 or 6 of them. I remember seeing them at the high school, kind of like
Geared up. Yeah.
getting their boats ready and
Yeah.
wiping them down and whatnot. Because I lived right behind the high school, and across from the high school was the boat ramp,
Oh,
like where you'd kind of dock and go
that's
out
gonna
into
be
the
tough.
yeah.
Every time you get out of class, you're like, oh, he's right there.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Yeah. So I remember seeing them there like a day before, because I was skateboarding and I was kind of skating through, and I saw like a couple of them lined up, and they're all
They have to be impressive.
yeah, they're pretty good. But
Yeah.
I mean,
What?
what are you doing in high school polishing your boat? You know,
Right? Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But yeah, they'd go up and gear up, and I remember the next morning at like 8 or something like that, you'd hear them all just down
Yep.
the whole lake.
Now, is it
Yeah.
true once you have? I guess you can go back and forth between lake water and salt water, but the salt water, once you have salt water, that
I don't know.
I think it is.
There is a
You go back
shell
and forth.
or like a mussel that you need to quarantine your boat for about 30 days. And if you
After?
go between lake from lake,
Yeah. Oh, between lake to lake,
hmm
maybe different algae or whatever.
Yeah.
Just
I
little
think it's like
ecosystems.
a zebra
know
mussel
allergies
or something like that that's invasive.
Yeah.
So it'll get in your cooling system in your engine, and it'll like kind of make a little habitation, a little
Sure.
ecosystem in there,
Yeah.
and then it'll contaminate the next lake going to. So not a lot of lakes have that, and they don't want it.
Yeah.
So they'll quarantine your boat for a month and then make you run hot water through it, kind of
Flush
clean
it
it
out.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can go in there.
I can see that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a lot. Each of the lakes got to have its own ecosystem, I'm sure.
hmm
I know Havasu, I feel bad for that lake. I mean, you're literally at the bottom of the United States. I mean,
Yeah.
everything filters down to you. That's we had one time at that lake, and it was not my favorite lake.
Yeah.
It was just a little too
It's probably way worse.
bottom
now.
of the bottom
Yeah,
of,
for
I mean,
real.
it's tough if you've grown up being in the Sierras and having that type of lakes
Clean
and
mountain
clean
lake.
mountain
Yeah.
snow-fed water.
Don't go to Lake Elsinore then.
Well, believe it or not, I've been there once. So my aunt and uncle lived down there for a while. So we didn't do anything out on the lake, but they actually had like one of the little incoves,
Mm.
a property right on the lake. So,
Cool.
but it was such a like remote little area. Like I don't remember hearing the bows. We weren't there that long, but they were there. So they had a little pontoon that they could
Yeah.
go out on and
That's cool.
do some stuff. Yeah,
I want a boat. I want a couple jet skis or something like that,
jet skis are so much fun.
because it'd be easy enough for me to tow it down there and to like back it into the water and to have you bring it up to the dock.
Mm-hmm.
But then I got to worry about Enzo.
Would he just jump off?
We'll probably have to have him be babysat.
Oh, you mean like
but-
going?
Because it's gonna be hot.
Oh, yeah.
One,
yeah.
he's not gonna deal with the
No,
temperature.
no, no.
And
But
he's
he-
not going to like the water
Nope.
or jumping around
Nope.
or the motion or being on a jet ski.
Nope.
So he gets babysat.
Yeah. He goes to mom's house.
He goes to that's right. Something, yeah.
Unless
would be
unless
fun.
I were to get a boat, but then I would need to teach you how to like drive a boat.
Yeah.
Actually, that is one thing that is super easy. You would pick it, especially you're such a motorcycle girl. Like you would pick it up. I don't want to brag, but I'm so good about getting Taylor and Connor out of the water fast
Yeah.
and circle. Oh, like even if you haven't done it for a long time, as soon as you're back in it, you're like, okay, it comes right back to you super fast. I zip around fast. I'm good with where the rope is. I feel I get them up, but my guys they're bigger boys. You can't mess around. Like you gotta get them out of the water.
Yeah.
Do you
that's
have a
true.
boat?
I do not.
Mm.
So we rent every time we go out. It cost wise as often. My guys probably are more. They definitely are more into snowboarding right now.
Mm-hmm.
If we had a house, close to the lake that we could do, that'd be a good investment. But it's a lot. Then you got to store it, and then the
The money
upkeep.
pits.
And it's a money. Yeah, I think it's a
Mhm.
money pit. It's just not where we're at right now to have a boat. And
Yeah.
they've got their own wakeboards, and
Yeah, they can go have
dresses.
fun on the water, but it's like they'd rather put more
The
time
boat
into
part,
other stuff.
We can just rent for when we need it. everything else.
I'm not a huge pontoon boat person, but I feel like for the needs or to have fun, it would probably be best to have a pontoon boat. Because then I could bring my family.
Yes, and your dog.
I could bring the dog and have
Yes.
a barbecue and kind of post up somewhere and enjoy whatever. But
Just kind of float around.
The downside of it, though, is like, we can't tube, can't kneeboard, can't wakeboard, can't ski.
You can't. You can gently tube.
That's not fun.
It's not like the swinging around.
Yeah.
And
If I'm taking my family with me, I'm taking out some anger.
So you know what though? You know what would probably be good? Because depending on the weight of the person you're tubing, you can do a lot with a wave runner. Not a jet ski, but a wave. You know, like the motorcycles on the water. Yeah. If you get one strong enough, you can pull, and the person isn't super heavy. You know that you'd be tubing. You could do some stuff with that, and that you could just hook up to the pontoon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when you want to just zip out, you could do it. That could be fun.
Could be.
Found a couple jet skis.
We have nowhere to put jet skis.
I do. At the shop.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah.
Actually.
I actually saw your shop when I was.
Oh, you drove by?
I drove. Yeah, I drove right by. I was like, I didn't even know. So I was like, hey!
Yeah, it's a big lot back there.
Yeah, yeah. You could. You haven't been with the owner. I mean, so.
I know him pretty well.
Well, you know,
Just changed a couple
just been
diapers.
a couple years. Yeah, exactly.
Changed a couple diapers.
That's right. Oh my gosh. Oh shit. Yeah, that's the same thing.
I mean, I will throw myself under the bus on the margarita incident.
Oh, what was that?
What was that?
Was this recent?
Yeah. I
Oh no. Did you make him at home or were you
No,
out?
I came home from work and I was like, had a super long day. I'm like,
Yeah.
it really sounds good as a margarita. And she's like,
Yes.
oh, I'll get one too.
Yeah. So did you go out or did you make one?
No, I made them. I just came home with tequila though.
Yeah. No, I went to go make one, Charlene, and I was like, okay, grab the tequila. We have agave. I grabbed the agave, and I was like, okay, there's no limes. And then like I grabbed the salt. I was like, okay, I opened the fridge to see if there's a mixer. Nothing, and I was like,
so it's
you really just got tequila?
Yeah. I looked at her. I'm like, I completely spaced because I had other things to grab.
Sure, yeah.
Like,
Grocery stuff.
What else do you need to make a margarita? It's just tequila.
Just a couple more things.
I was like, no.
That's not
Yeah.
it. So what did you end up doing? Drinking tequila?
Yeah, just drinking tequila. We had a couple of like the Perrier's,
Yeah.
like grapefruit flavored, so I was like, just mix it with that.
It's
But-
not horrible, yeah.
Next
some
time we went to the
simple-
store, I got some mixer.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Just like these little lime, you can have them with or without alcohol, which I like. Sometimes it's just nice over ice.
Yeah.
But it's like a lemon lime fancy
Mm-hmm.
mixer thing. Like in like a little tonic bottle.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Easy to mix for multiple things.
Mm-hmm.
You can do
That's
that
good.
one. All right, well, speaking of the lake, do you guys have summer plans or anything on the
Working.
docket? Working, I know, same.
I work out in slow right now.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. The commute sucks.
It's kind of a pretty commute. There are some pretty parts
Yeah.
to it.
On the way there, it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's always on the way back.
That's because you want to be home. You're done.
It's people that don't know how to drive in traffic, always trying to
Mhm.
speed up. Oh, there's a gap. I'm going to floor it and slam on my brakes. And then the person behind them gets rear-ended.
Yep.
And it's just like, on Friday, I passed by 6 accidents.
Ooh.
What?
I was in over an hour and a half of traffic. I sat still in traffic for 30 minutes.
That's where you get pissed. You're like,
It
I
did
could be
take
home
you a
if
while to
guys
get
weren't
home.
all- Yeah.
And then I got off the
Later.
freeway. I'm like, I'm going to cut around. And my coworker's like, just head straight. Just go straight. I'm like, this is nowhere near Lompoc. He's like, we're going through Guadalupe. I did the same thing you just did. I rolled my eye. I was like, shit.
Here we go.
This is
Here
going
we
to be a
go.
drive.
This is gonna. You're like, honey, I'll be home at 9.
Yeah. And then I'm like, told him, I'm like, how much time does this save us? He's like, about an hour and a half. I'm like, I'm not mad anymore. Let's go.
That's right.
Let's move.
Especially when you can look on your app and you see it's just red.
Oh my god.
was.
It's just.
It was red all the way through Santa Maria.
Oh my gosh.
It was horrible. And I got on, probably got about 5 minutes of freeway flow. Bumper to bumper,
Oh,
bumper to
jeez.
bumper. I'm like,
That's
eh.
where you breathe.
So
There's
done.
there's nothing you can do. You're there.
Yeah, I
There's-
could see
there's
the
no-
commute from there coming back would suck.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Definitely.
Oh, well, since we're just kind of open micing it, how do you think about your girlfriend being a little witchy?
I had a feeling that was a question was going to come up.
Well, as long as we're talking about it.
I have my opinions about it, but I'm not one...
Did you know anything about...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you did before you met her?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so it's not like it was something new. You already knew about... Okay.
I have this, I call it a curse or a blessing, whichever one you want to look at it. No matter what female is in my life, they're one.
Really?
All of them.
That says something.
I can't get away from it.
Sounds like you have a lesson to learn.
What I'm
Besides
hearing
one,
you say
I think there's one that's not
a little witchy.
Yeah, at least one.
It's something you're drawn to. Then it's something you need in your life.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you would be
It's I don't know what it is. I have mixed emotions about it.
Okay, that's fair.
But at the same time, I'm not about to make somebody... I look at it as a religion almost.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Who am I to bash on your religion?
I have the same to you.
I'm not going to hate on something that you believe in and that makes you happy and that makes you thrive from your day to day.
Yeah.
And I kind of pity people who turn it down and like, oh, that's wrong, this and that. They know what they're doing. It's their life.
Right.
Let them do what they want.
I agree.
If it makes them happy, by all means.
Yeah.
If you felt that way, you'd do something about the whole Hollywood industry and all your idols because they worship fucking Satan. You know?
There's some crazy shit going on there, but...
Yeah, there was a little bit.
You can worship whatever God you want. This is America. You're free to have your own opinions and form your own religions.
Right.
If you
follow your path.
Exactly. Yeah.
Makes you a good person, then you do you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My beliefs lie in a little different area, but I'm not going to stop her from doing what she wants to do.
I like that. That's supportive.
Mm-hmm. Very.
It's very nice.
Because you wouldn't be here if it was the other way around.
Right? Well, and so yeah.
That's bashing on religion.
No,
you know what I
mean?
mean?
If you tried to stop
one-way
me.
standard real quick. Like,
no, if you said I needed to stop, I'd be like, okay, well, clearly I'm
I don't like
going to,
seeing
so.
it. I don't like... I'll tell you why I don't like it.
Okay.
I'm not going to say I don't like
and
it.
this isn't specific to Anika. This would be anybody in your life, right?
Anybody.
This is your general...
Anybody. And I don't mean to hurt anyone's feelings.
Yeah.
This is just purely my observation.
Mm-hmm.
By all means, my girlfriend does it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't... Well, we're still together.
Right.
So that says something.
Yeah.
What is it, back when they had the Salem witch stuff, was it 1602 or 1601 or something like that?
1690s.
Yeah.
1690s. I feel like back then women didn't have a lot of rights. You know, it's either do what I say or get beat. Right? Times in this world were different back then. You know? Like, we don't know how a lot of stuff was built or a lot of technology was lost, a lot of knowledge was lost.
Right.
The Great Library got burned. We had a book burning in Germany. We had Salem witch trials, book burning as well. A lot of stuff got lost. And we don't really know, I shouldn't say we, people, I feel like part of that crucial knowledge was lost in history. Yeah. I could say, hey, you know, if you get these spices and herbs together, say this phrase, you'll get this.
Right.
Have your intentions. Is that really what it's about, though? Is that really how it's going to be? Or is that just someone saying, here, just do this instead? I'm not going to tell you how it really goes. Having that much power as a person is dangerous. People get scared. If you go and look around in people or just the world, you know, the masses are afraid of having one person in so much power. Mm-hmm. Now imagine if one individual had more power than that you didn't know about. That'd be kind of scary, you know?
I do think people being scared is a big part of it.
Yeah.
And that's usually what triggers the next step of action, right? I'm scared enough to where I'm going to act to protect myself from whatever they feel is wrong. And I think that most, you know, the history with witchcraft, there's a lot of different little avenues you can take with it, but it absolutely has deep, deep roots with the herbal remedies.
It does.
And that's I think, okay, and it was accepted for a very long time until when the more modern religion of Christianity started coming in, and the church saying, I am the only answer. Like, it is, I'm telling you what's right or what's wrong. Or, this kid, the show that we just watched, Outlander. There's a real specific scene that I think is a good example that I think was there purposely to help educate everybody, since we do get a lot of our information from cinema and our actors. But the church had come in and said, for this one scene, that the kid had been possessed. The child had been possessed. And one of the main characters in Outlander, who was portrayed as a witch many times, sometimes called herself a witch, sometimes didn't, but is a doctor, right? A doctor, and knew the herbal medicines and what remedies to use, and found out that the kid had mistakenly eaten something that looked like a plant that could be eaten, but it ended up being a poisonous plant. And she knew how to fix that. But when she was able to, again, this is cinematic, but when she was able then to fix the child, instead of the church, saying it was a demon that needed to be, exorcised or
It's just a lack of knowledge how to deal with something.
Yeah, and I think at that point it kind of grew a little bit deeper, where the human ego came in and say, the church can recognize, okay, maybe she is right, maybe it is a poisoning situation, but at this point, I'm all in. This is the church. We're right.
You either follow us or you
either
don't.
Follow us or you don't. And that's where ego steps in and says, okay, well, the child's going to die, or it's going to get exorcised of a demon.
I do wish that there was a way to keep track of human records of stuff like that that couldn't really be destroyed or altered.
Right.
Because back when I was a kid, we'd play this game called Telephone. Yeah. You ever heard of that?
Yep, absolutely.
You'd say one word, keep going, you get to the end. It's a completely different word.
It's not,
It's like, that brings me to a point of teachers today will tell you you can only operate 10% of your brain.
I've heard that.
So, that's not true. What a physicist said about 100 or so years ago is that we only know what 10% of your brain does. Got lost in translation. Now, people think today that we can only use 10% of our brain.
So I've literally said that.
We were just talking about
Anika and I were just talking about it. Okay, so what the thing is, they can only, with our current technology and science, we can only recognize 10% of our brain's capacity.
Oh, more now. That's been proven.
But where that saying came from.
Yeah,
where that saying came from, it's like the Outlander.
Yeah.
They didn't know anything about the human body.
Yeah.
She got almost patronized for dissecting a body to realize how it worked more.
Which is,
and they would have thought she was a witch. Let's kill her.
Right.
Let's not advance medicine for humans.
Right.
Like Da Vinci, stuff like that.
Sure.
So, I kind of forgot where I was going.
No, but I want to go back to that 10% because I honestly thought it was, we only are able to tap into 10 out of 100% of our brain functions.
I think it was a doctor back then who was actually getting cadavers, and I forget his name, was researching the human body and doing tests on subjects or willing volunteers to understand the human body and how it worked more to advance our medical science.
Yeah.
What he discovered about the human body is written, it's done, but when it came to the brain, which a lot of us still kind of have our questions, he said, I only know, or we have only discovered what about 10% of it does. So that's saying,
that is totally different from what I say.
He only understands, normal body function,
controls
drink,
this,
breathe, eat, normal feelings, nothing with the nervous system, how the way you think, any of that. He's like, I only know this much, which can only attribute to what he was given at that certain time and period. My medical science and tools can only allow me to research about this amount. Here's what I know about the human brain. I only know 10%, and I only know about what it does.
I'm gonna go on a rabbit hole on this one.
Yeah.
You piqued my curiosity. I'm gonna look that up more.
Because even back then, something had to have happened, wiped history, whatever, the medical science field changed when big oil companies got into the whole pharmaceutical business and started making petroleum-based medical shit instead of, herbs.
Right.
Because you can't put a patent on a plant.
Right.
We can't make money off it.
And
so I can't tax you off it. I can't charge you for it.
And you can reproduce this
Yes.
pseudo,
Exactly.
whatever thing on mass scales.
Yes. So that's why whenever you hear one of those like medical commercials, it's like, oh, this will help your dementia, but gives you a freaking CVS pharmacy receipt of like side effects.
Exactly.
Good luck, bud.
Yeah.
If you really do your research and you get into herbs, you're like, oh, this, if I mix lemon, water, dandelion root, and ginger, it'll cure everything I have and give me more benefits. Right. But they can't put a patent on that.
Yeah.
So I feel like
so
something
there's a way to make that evil.
There
exactly.
is.
There's a way to make that whatever's a threat to
and it's just,
contain it.
And it's just money.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Money is the root of all evil.
But even before that, I guess there's always been some form of wealth, right? There always has been. But I think that, like, even the Salem witch trials, were any witches actually burned in the Salem witch trials? No. So there weren't, right?
Almost every witch knows actually in the Salem witch trials. Almost no actual practicing witches were
But that was the end
burned.
of...
It was mass hysteria. It was also a really good way to say, I hate my neighbor. I think they're cheating.
Like what you were saying before.
I think they're having an affair with my wife.
Right.
Witch, die.
And that's just due to lack of intelligence of the people back then. Yeah. If people were a little more educated and knew about what was really going on around them, they wouldn't be so hateful towards each other.
Right.
Which kind of plays into effect of today.
And it also plays right into the hand of a lot of religions, right? A fear-based congregate is a lot easier to handle and control than a lot of people who are...
Because the majority of society does want to be a follower. There are...
And that's okay. Like, you can't...
There's not a million wolves in the pack of sheep. It's okay. Humans are...
Yeah.
Like a herding animal by nature. They want to follow.
Yeah, they have their groups, they have their people that they associate with and they feel more comfortable with, and you can't, I think, have a successful little system without everybody having different strengths. Like, my boys growing up playing water polo or football, like everybody, you can't have everybody who is a quarterback, or you can't have everybody who is everybody's got it. There's all these different strengths, and the whole team is needed for that symphony-like, play of winning games and being dominant, and everybody's got to do their part. Yeah. And society's got to be the same way. You can't have a whole bunch of alphas, and you got to have.
But it definitely came down to control, for sure.
But
like even taking money out of it. Even the most powerful people, they can have all the money in the world and they want more. What is it that they want? They want the power over the people.
Well,
and that's when it comes to, making people scared of the home remedies and the herbalism and this. And it's like, okay, yeah, it might work. They know it works. They know it's healthier. They know all these things, but I don't only want your money. I want to be able to control you.
Well, that kind of boils down just to, like, human nature. Everybody wants to be in control. And not a lot of people are in control. So when they finally get a taste of control, they kind of, act or do a certain way or believe a certain thing, Yeah. And it really doesn't turn the person to what they truly are meant to be. Yeah. Leaders aren't made, they're born. That's all I'm going to say.
You think leaders are born, not made?
Yeah. It's what you're exposed to. It's like that quote, a villain and a superhero get hurt the same way. A hero sees the world hurt him and will change the world so it doesn't hurt anybody else. A villain will get hurt in the same way and then hurt everyone else. I kind of butchered that a little bit.
But I'm with you. I stayed with you. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
But they get hurt the same way, and who you are will determine how you treat how you got hurt. Yeah. If that makes sense.
I've seen the same thing with people who do harm to society. So you could go back to whatever happened in childhood, you could have two very similar upbringings with, say, two separate guys, and one, because of what happened, is going to go and hurt other people because that's what he knows. That's what he was taught.
The world hurt me, I'm going to hurt it back.
Right. And then the other guy is going to go and protect everybody.
Exactly.
Because of what happened. So I know, I'm with you. I know what you're saying.
With those two differences in the people, because there are only those two differences in people, besides the third, which will hide and cower, and be that sheep and follow everybody and protect himself from the masses. The one that will change the world will become a leader. The one that gets hurt by the world wants to hurt it back will go fucking nowhere.
I agree.
He will only hurt himself and everyone around him.
Yeah.
He'll cut people who never cut him.
You're right.
And that's why shadow work is important.
Stay tuned for the Dark Moon episode. No. I'm with you, and I think if we talk about having to learn your lesson, I think those people are going to have to repeat stuff until, and some of them won't ever learn. Like, this is it. This is the rest of this life. Mm-hmm. Whether they come back and they're going to be put in the same situation and given another chance to choose a different path. Mm-hmm. I'm a big believer
like
in
soul progression.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You just have to keep repeating stuff until you figure it out. And if you brush it off, because it is painful, it hurts to look deep into stuff. If you keep brushing it off, though, it's just prolonging it. Mm-hmm. Sooner or later, you can be like, damn it, now I got to do this over again.
Yeah, exactly.
So the hardest part about anything is taking somebody's criticism. It's hard. It sucks. You don't want to hear it. You want to feel like you're doing everything right.
I know.
You want to get that job well done.
You want that validation.
You want the validation, But the sad part is that the person you see getting all that validation has messed up. But the only difference between you two is that he's recognized what he's messed up and will make the difference. Mm-hmm. It's like, what's the definition of insanity? Keep doing the same thing and expect a different outcome.
Seriously.
So you got to pair those two together.
It just made me think of something. This might be a little bit of a sidetrack, but Connor called my Connor, my son Connor, and he's on to the next stage of his, his schooling. He wants to be a psychiatrist. Oh God, Connor, is it psychologist, psychiatrist?
Psychiatrist.
Psychiatrist, yes, psychiatrist.
He says so he provides, like, he can prescribe.
Yes, yes.
Psychiatrist.
And the tools that this kid has and what he's bringing just based off of what he has gone through personally, like that, it gives me goosebumps. And the lives that he is going to be able to change and the people he's going to be able to affect, because it's not going to be somebody coming down and preaching on somebody else, it's going to be like, I was there, man.
Yeah. He's not somebody who read it in a textbook. He's somebody who's lived it and understands the mindset of the person he's trying to help.
Like I think that's gonna, and he wants, like he wants to be back with people in addiction and like help in all that stuff. And I'm like,
those are the people that make the difference, because number one, they understand it better than anybody else. Number two, the people they're reaching out to are going to want to listen to them.
Right. Because otherwise you just feel like you're getting schooled. Like you're back in grade school and the principal's, punishing
it's like, how could you know?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
But he's, Connor could have taken a different path.
And he's going to see things that, somebody else might not.
That's right.
He might see different routes, different ways of doing things and helping people that he wishes he got to experience, whereas, like, someone else could never even think of that.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really good.
Yeah, I'm really excited for him, but it's along that same line, right? Like there's a fork in the road, and which way are you going to choose? And I'm just really proud of him.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Really,
that's
really
really cool,
right? Yeah, it's gonna be good.
He's gonna make a huge difference.
I think he will. I really do. He's always had, if you guys have kids or whatever, but if I could have written everything down when my guys were little, their personalities haven't. Like I could have bet money that Connor would be doing
That's
this.
funny. My mom just said that to me too when we were on.
Like,
the phone.
when your guys are little, in Taylorsfield, the direction I could have bet money that each of these guys would be in the careers and the paths that they're choosing,
that they're following.
Yeah, it's they're.
And that's a good thing. I feel like is like having the opportunity to be a parent and recognize that and then support it from the get-go is like. Yes. That truly is what it means to set you up for success.
Yeah. Right?
Which you did.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Taylor, have some Legos.
Right? Build something. Oh my gosh, I can't believe we just did an open mic. This is amazing.
It was really good. I think we talked about a lot of different subjects.
Right?
But it was good.
Touched on a lot of things.
We did.
Not all super witchy related, but I think that's what makes it real for more people listening.
Yeah, I think so too. And that's what I like. I like just like kind of organic. You start talking and then the conversation goes where it's supposed to go.
Yeah, for sure.
So I really appreciate you guys spending the time with me today. This was amazing.
Yeah, it was fun.
And we had fun doing cocktails from last week's episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was fun.
It was so delicious.
So good. All right, well, you guys, I don't know if I really have a poem for today. What can I do?
I don't know.
What could I do for a poem for open mic? That's not really a poem-ish thing.
No, it's not. There's no theme.
No, there isn't. There's no theme. Yeah, no.
Just make yourself a drink. Have fun. Enjoy the
right?
podcast.
And just let it go.
Get some snackies and drinkies.
That's it. Snackies and drinkies. That's good. Relax. All right, you guys. Well, thank you everybody for joining me. I do have a quick recap of the moon and her energy this week. So if you would like to stay tuned for that, I will be right back. Oh my goodness, that was so much fun. I really hope you guys enjoyed it just as much as I did. I can't wait to have them both back for another open mic recording. Let's do some quick moon stuff before we wrap it up today. We are in a waning phase. She is getting smaller and smaller as she gets closer to the dark moon phase next week. This waning moon energy is generally going to be associated with, decrease, release, and letting go. This phase follows the full moon, that big Sagittarius full moon we had last week, and really does lead up to the dark moon and final phase. It's a time when the moon is gradually diminishing in visibility and light. The waning moon is an ideal time to release our negative thoughts, to let go of bad habits, and let go of patterns that no longer serve us. It's a period for clearing out and making space for new beginnings. This phase encourages self-reflection and introspection. It's a time to review and evaluate what has and what has not worked well in our life, really allowing us to gain insights and wisdom. We can use this time to complete projects, to finish tasks, and bring closure to ongoing matters. It's about tying up those loose ends and resolving any outstanding issues. The waning moon is going to be suitable for cleansing and purification rituals. This can involve physical cleansing, the physical cleansing of your space, or even the emotional and spiritual purification practices that we can work with. This is a period to definitely slow down, to rest and recuperate, just like the moon is doing. It's about conserving energy and preparing for the new cycle that begins with the new moon next week. This phase is beneficial for forgiveness too. Work with that forgiveness energy and healing energy, letting go of grudges and forgiving ourselves and others, and focusing on past wounds, the healing of them. This is a great time to do it during a waning moon. Actual things, journaling, reflecting on personal growth, waning moon's great for. Decluttering your home or workspace, waning moon's going to be great for. Meditative practices, focusing on letting go. Detoxification and cleansing rituals, all good during a waning moon. Completing unfinished projects, great during a waning moon. And then setting intentions, of course, for release and closure. So I am all about aligning with the natural rhythms of the moon. We can harness the waning moon's energy to effectively release what no longer serves us and to prepare for new beginnings that are coming. I am so happy you joined me today and that you are a part of the Witchy Work Wishes family. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week and weekend, and I'll talk with you next week. Thank you for joining me today at Witchy Work Wishes, a place to find your weekly inspiration for bringing your personal witchcraft practice into your business, work, and office. For more information and additional content, please visit me online at witchyworkwishes.com. If you want to send me a personal note, please email me at info@witchyworkwishes.com. And of course, you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Just search for Witchy Work Wishes.